Thank you for your patience as we are a little bit late. But, you know, stuff happens. But we're live now. Thank you for your patience as we are a little bit late. But, you know, stuff happens. There we go. Oh, I hadn't muted Twitch chat, so it was playing in. Anyways. Okay. Where were we? It's been a day, everyone, so I appreciate your patiences. And,
each and every one of them.
Yes, each and all of your patiences.
Oh, I should have Roll20 up.
Yes, please pull up your Roll20s and join us in the game. Now, where did I put... There we are. There we go. There's my GM notes. Okay. So. Hi, I'm Austin Ramsey. I'm the creator of Beam Saber. You can find me on Twitter at NotAnIn. And as always, this stream is presented by You Don't Meet in an Inn, a podcast about exploring obscure tabletop role-playing games with a diverse rotating cast. So thank you so much for joining us. And today I am joined by Takuma.
Hey, I'm Takuma Okada. I'm on Twitter at Takuma_Okada_. I play games online a lot.
All right. Thank you very much. And I am also joined by Sasha.
Hi, I'm Sasha Renell. You can find me at Sasha_Renell on Twitter, and follow my game design at tcabbage.
Thanks. Also joined by Ray.
Hey, I'm Ray. You can find me on Twitter at RayRayTheGayGay. Don't use it a lot, but sometimes I'm around. So, you know, do the Twitter thing.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Sean.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sean, aka Hyena Spots on Twitter with a Z. And you can find me there, and anything I'm doing is I usually talk about there. So I'm looking forward to today's game.
Woo! And I hope everyone watching is also looking forward to today's game. So,
those of you playing along at home.
So we're going to go over to the Roll20 screen, which, oh my goodness, is not set up properly.
I'm afraid of that. It's where all the bad dice are.
Oh.
Roll20 chat.
That's where we keep them?
That's all the bad rolls. They end up there.
Why do we keep them there?
Oh, jeez. Nobody look at Roll20 right now. Or at the stream. At the stream,
can't stop me.
Because the stream just had straight up just my GM notes on it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. This is definitely a day that... Oh, my God.
My sister is who? No.
I'm secretly a divine?
Wow, I mean, not so secret that I'm divine. But no.
Also, the Roll20 map is, like, stuck in the corner for some reason.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
Hi.
Today is a day.
Today is such a day, and it was so promising at first.
I got to sleep in.
Nice.
So I have a first period spare.
Yeah.
I'm a cool kid with spares. Or something. I don't know.
Okay, I've gotten part of it to work now.
Oh, it is. It's corner. It's in the map's fine.
There we go.
Hello?
All right.
Been saying that all week and I hate it. I need to stop.
Yeah, it starts ironically and then it stops being ironic.
Yeah, I hate it.
Like so many things.
I don't know why I'm like this.
You say it because it's funny, and then you say it because that's what you do now.
No, I don't like it.
You don't like it.
Okay.
The only solution I found is to find something even more funny and annoying to fall into.
Oh no.
Okay. Now we're up and running.
Wunderschön.
Yeah.
Cursed.
So again, thank you everyone for your patience. Today has been a whole thing for me personally, and it's just keeps going. All right. So we find the Cenotaph in their forward operating base, a rundown cemetery on the southern edge of Hollenton, in the lands of the faithful of Isia. Now, this cemetery has a chapel in it. Is that correct? Is that where you all have your sort of operations center in the chapel?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way I've been seeing this place is like there's the chapel, and then there's sort of a like in either like another room or like another building that's like connected to it. There's like a preparation space, and then like behind it is the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's
You like get a shot of the church, and there's like these big honking mechs right behind it.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys don't
Just
have
like-
a workshop yet, so you
I like
can't-
the mental image of like the mechs like perched like gargoyles of the church.
Yes. That's very good.
Yeah, speaking of not having a workshop,
No.
I don't think you guys can actually repair your Avis
Fuck.
Oh, cool.
until you get one of those. At least not without acquiring an asset first,
Oh.
because you don't have the tools, you know? It's kind of like trying to change the engine in a car without having an actual like hydraulic lift or not an engine block. I'm not sure what those a winch. You know, you guys just don't have the tools, unfortunately.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So it might be something you want to consider getting at some point, either through a long-term project or by spending in a upgrade when the squad levels up. But either of those are a ways off. For now, where do we find you, Demon?
I think, gosh, where do we find me? I think I'm making my rounds of the cemetery. Like, I think my priestly habits have never really quite left me entirely, so I am sort of just like going about paying my respects to the dead, making sure that like nothing has fallen over, you know, and that things are tidy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What time of day is it?
It is morning. It's probably
Okay.
about 9 a.m. It's a lovely sunny day,
Okay.
and you can hear the chatter of the rampant proxies on the edge of the property. Just sort of quiet, confused noises, as is common for them.
Mhm.
Do you ever try to engage with them?
I don't think that I engage with them specifically. I think like I will observe them. Like there are times where I will just like sit out here like staring at them thoughtfully, but I don't think I actually make an effort to approach and speak with them.
Okay.
Or, you know.
So largely just ignoring the noises that they make.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And where do we find Spade? This lovely, let's see, it's probably a Tuesday. This lovely Tuesday morning.
Spade is round the back with a hose hosing down their magpie. And I think just like getting like the dust and dirt, whatever is clinging to the hole off of it, and mindlessly eating a hoagie in the other hand.
Are they vain about the appearance of their magpie?
No, it's kind of more like they're doing like a sanitation run basically on it. It's not so much that they care about what it looks like; it's more that they care about what it's carrying.
Okay.
So
That's fair. You're probably the one most likely to come in contact with medical waste.
Yep.
So
that's what it's for. So.
Yep. And where's Pitchfork at this morning? To Kuma?
Oh shoot, sorry. Spaced out for a second there. I was like thinking about it. I don't know if Keiko's training or just like trying to fix up Bert a little bit, even though we can't actually fix the damage in a significant way.
I mean, you can probably change the oil or the equivalent of whatever that would be with an Avi.
Yeah, I think, that kind of like minimal maintenance and then just kind of like buffing out the smaller scratches from that level 1 damage. Can't really do anything about it, but make it look a little better.
All right. And what's Tower up to?
I think Tower has... they've been reading about the history of the war that's on right now. But I don't think they had really been sort of... I think they only recently sort of started to get what the scale of it is like, because I don't know that they had been sort of exposed to it as much. They were traveling and all that, but they were mostly traveling to the houses of nobility and places that would have been relatively sheltered from it. And I think they have decided to start reading and start trying to learn about what's actually been happening. So I think that's sort of what they've been doing.
Trying to cut through the propaganda, so to speak?
Yeah. Or trying to see which bits are propaganda and which bits can be sort of confirmed.
That is fair. Okay. And so, Demon, you're making your rounds when you notice amongst the cloud of proxies standing and chattering around the property, you notice a familiar devil emoji floating at about head height amongst them. And Scratch emerges from the crowd, and they're wearing a white sundress with white heels. And as they approach, you see that the white sundress is covered in many little pictures of leopards. And they say, "Hey there, Demon. What you doing?"
It's private. How can I help you?
Aw, don't be like that. Maybe I can help.
I'm just tidying up.
I see. Well, that does sound kind of boring, so I guess I'll leave it to you. Anyways.
What brings you our way today?
Well, you know, just the usual hashtag squad goals. So do you want to get everyone together?
I will go ahead and do that, yeah. So, yeah, I guess I will go fetch everyone.
Where do you bring them? Scratch is just like on your heels, just following you.
Oh, okay. I think we meet up in the chapel. Yeah. I mean, I think there's gosh. I think it's the nave, like the area that's like in the front of the chapel or something like that. I think we got a little table and chairs and stuff set up there. So.
Okay. And does everyone come quietly, or is anyone reluctant to make their way on over?
Still eating that hoagie, but yeah, I'm here.
I don't even know what a hoagie is.
It's like a sandwich with like it's the like long bread that you just sort of cut in half, and then you stuff it with like kind of, and you just stuff it with like meat and cheese and stuff.
That's just a sub.
Yeah, you can also call it a hoagie.
Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. It's a sci-fi sub. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm sorry.
It's just Midwestern. There's nothing special about it.
All right. So, where does everyone position themselves in the chapel as they prepare for their briefing?
I think I've still got the book I was reading, and I'm just sort of like pretending to listen a little bit. While I'm still sort of like got like book like underneath bench. So I'm like one bench back, and then I'm just sort of like looking down every couple of seconds.
Okay.
Pretending to pay attention.
All right, so you're in the pews near the back.
Yeah, I think I stay standing and I just like cross my arms and like wait.
Sorry, I wanted to say, did we do a full downtime last session?
Yes, because you're all at war already, so you only got the one downtime activity.
Oh yeah. Fun.
Yep. So where's Spade at in the chapel?
Spade is sitting 2 rows ahead of Tower and is leaning forward on the pew ahead of them, ahead of Co, and just has the sandwich ahead of them in Co's hands. So.
All right.
Waiting to see what happens.
And Pitchfork.
Find a seat close to Scratch. Sit in edge of the seat, and the arms, listening, paying attention,
Cool.
taking notes mentally.
So, Scratch steps up and stands behind the pulpit with one of the few things that has been changed about the chapel is that whatever religious iconography might have been here before in the window above the pulpit, it has now been replaced by the blue 8-pointed star of the celestial myriad in stained glass. And so they stand below that at the pulpit in their leopard print dress, and they smile out at the 4 of you, and they say, I've always wanted to stand up here. It just seems exciting, all the attention. Anyways, so we got a communication from the 3rd Public Connections Corps. They have a mission for you, strangely enough, because they need a neutral third party, or as neutral as things get these days. So let me just
That's a choice.
cue up the message here, and they sort of look out over the benches off into space for a minute, and then they flicker and are replaced by a dark-skinned man with a close-cropped beard and short, curly hair. He's wearing a military dress uniform, and he's got a solid muscular build. And he's got a military beret on his head. And he says, "Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Walsh Johnson of the 3rd Public Connections Corps. I have been informed that we need your assistance with a task at hand. You see, after a recent conflict with the Jovangelians, we have a number of dead pilots and infantrymen that we feel would be best if returned to Fort Jovenel. However, with that recent conflict, the Jovangelians are concerned that this is a pretense of some variety. But that is not the case. We simply wish to return their dead. And so we require you, as a neutral third party, to escort those dead, along with a small contingent of our personnel, to Fort Jovenel, and then back again. And that is what is required of you. Just send along a message letting us know if you accept, and if you do, come tomorrow to our embassy in Journey City, and we will have people there to meet you and arrange for you to acquire the dead. Johnson out." And he flickers and switches back to Scratch and their devil emoji face. And I say, so that's the message. I don't know if y'all, oh, huh. Interesting. So, Keiko, there's, someone trapped in the proxies outside calling for you.
Fuck.
Hey, okay. Better go check that out.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So,
I think Spade sort of wanders out behind her, but stays like at the door of the chapel. Just
Yeah.
both curious as to what's happening and also wanting to give Keiko some space and be there if she needs score. So.
okay. Demon, are you following as well?
Yeah, I think I follow a little more. I follow a little more closely. Though I do give a little bit of space just to see what's up. So.
Yeah. I think I sort of like, after like 30 seconds, realized that everyone's left the room and like walk out.
Yeah, Scratch follows, of course, and I think is standing near Spade, just also observing the occurrences. Once you're all outside, you see this crowd of proxies, and you can hear over their confused murmurs. You can hear shouting. You can hear a person's voice shouting for Keiko. And Keiko, you recognize the voice, of course, because it's your good friend Layla Quince.
Oh boy.
Who?
Oh man.
So who is Layla Quince?
Layla Quince is a member of the Rebel Runts, which is the orphaned independent faction. No, not faction, squad. That, you know, I know people in that squad because they come from a similar background. You know, Layla actually was at the same orphanage I was at, but didn't agree with the church and decided to leave. But still keep in touch. I'm a little surprised to see her here, but better go help her.
All right. How are you gonna help her?
What do what can I do to get these proxies to give her some space? Can I just yell at them to clear out? Is that a thing I can do?
Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
So what do you shout?
Everyone, calm down. Just give her some space. Please, please back off. Back off. That means you. Yeah. Uh-huh. Over there.
Yep. The crowd, they are used to the four of you and have some deference because of your tending to the deceased. And so they part slowly, like a crowd of people who are sort of not entirely sure why they're making space, but content to do so.
Good enough.
And as the last one steps out of the way, y'all can see Layla. And what does she look like, Takuma?
She's got short, like, blonde hair. Pretty tanned. Like, her mech, I think, is like an open top mech that she rides on top of, so she's just out in the sun all the time. Pretty burnt. No, kind of wiry. Kind of short and wiry.
Okay. There's no sign of her Avi, as far as y'all can tell. So she steps forward out of the crowd and like wipes her hand across her forehead. She clearly, it seems like she was starting to freak out a bit, as is common with people who get stuck in proxy crowds.
You know, they're like sci-fi zombies. They're fucking computer zombies. That's some scary shit.
Yeah. So she walks forward and she says, "Oh, Keiko, thank you," and like goes to give you a hug.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a nice tight hug. It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you, Kin. I haven't actually been out to Hollanton in a long time. How are things here?
You know, a lot of people are just gone. I haven't seen. You're not the only one I haven't seen in years.
Well, you should, there's a spot for you in the runts if you ever want to join up.
I can't leave here. I can't. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for people to come home.
She looks like she's going to rebuke you for that sentimentality, as she has in the past. She is definitely convinced that you're wasting your time waiting here for the elder siblings to return. But she just closes her mouth instead after realizing something. And she says, "Well, obviously if I haven't been here in a couple of years, I'm here for a reason. And that's that the runs could use your help. Even if you won't join us, I still... You owe me, Keiko. Okay? And I'm asking for you to help me out with something."
You know, it doesn't matter if I owe you or not. I'll still help you if you need the help.
Well, I do need the help now. The runts need the help. And then she sort of like finally notices the other four of you who are just watching this. And then she like stands beside you, Keiko, puts her arm around you and like hunches over and pulls your faces close together and says, "Who are they?"
These are my co-workers.
Are they narcs?
No. Oh my god, no.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You just called them co-workers and not friends or squad mates or...
I don't know them that well, but I trust them. We've gotten in some tight spots together and gotten out. It's fine.
I see your sins, pitchfork. No.
Okay. Well, so do you trust him in a scrap then?
100%.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I don't trust them, so I'm going to tell you about this, and what you, if you share it with them, sure, fine, okay?
Spade has is like, oh, okay, this is a private conversation, and turns to Scratch and is like, hey, we should go inside, and you should tell me about your dress, because that is fantastic.
What? My dress? But what if this is important?
It's 100% not going to be important. I want to know what kind of programming you put together to do this, and he's sort of like kiting them back into the chapel.
Okay, they are very clearly happy to talk about their outfit, and so they follow you back into the chapel and give you a long talk about how much they just love the concept of a leopard print dress that doesn't have leopard print.
I completely agree.
And so Layla says to you, Keiko, a couple of days ago, we got into a scrap with the raccoons, just outside of the city. They seem to be kind of agitated recently. I don't know what that's about. But anyways, it didn't go well for us. No one died, thankfully, but there were definitely injuries, and a number of our Avies are out of commission for the time being. But that's not the problem that I need your help with. You see, the burden have been poking around our territory in the city. And we think that they might be about to hit us hard, since we're down but not out. And so we need a ringer. We need you, Keiko. And I guess maybe your co-workers to hit the burden before they're ready. Can you help us out with that?
You can try. We're not... The others, they aren't exactly what you would call combat types. But we'll do what we can. We've got a skill set of sorts.
I mean, we don't, it shouldn't be too bad of a problem, because it's just a burden safe house. I don't think that they're planning anything. I mean, obviously they're using it as a staging ground for hitting us, but from what we can tell, it's not like they're loaded down with Avies in there. It's in an apartment block that the safe house is in Kingstown. So.
All right.
And you should. You see, we're also hitting another one of their safe houses that they're also preparing at. And we're doing that tomorrow. So we need you to join us then. So, can I count on y'all's support?
I'll be there.
Okay. So, how do I get out of these things? And she sort of gestures to the like milling crowd of digital ghosts.
Well, they're mostly harmless, but here, I'll show you the way out, and I'll walk her out.
Okay. So you walk her through the crowd, and they, for the most part around you. A couple of them reach out hands towards you, but then recoil as they see that it's you, Keiko. So you make your way beyond your moat of ghosts, and there's Layla's dune buggy, open-topped, lifted, great for off-roading, and undoubtedly the way that she got here. So she says, all right, so tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
See you there.
Yeah, I'll see you at our Kingstown location in the city, all right? Okay. See you then, kin. And she hops in the dune buggy and turns on the engine, and it roars as she drives away. So, we'll cut back to Spade and Scratch. Actually, before we do that, Demon and Tower, what have you two been up to?
So they've been having this conversation just like out in front of the chapel, right? Or like, a little ways away from it.
Yeah.
I think I've just been sitting on the steps of the chapel the whole time. With Harrow vapes. Like he has with like he has like an e-cig style one.
Oh,
so
cursed.
He's just basically been vaping there.
What flavor?
Wait,
No.
Communion
We have to
wafer?
know.
yeah, no, not quite. I think just like regular tobacco flavored, or like or maybe menthol. But yeah, no. So he's been doing that and just kind of waiting for Keiko to come back.
And how about Tower? Continuing to read the book?
I think I went to go sit with Demon, and then he pulled out a vape pen, and I left.
I didn't need you anyway.
Look, I don't need to be sitting here with a vaping priest.
Ex-priest?
I'm not a priest anymore.
Could you vape when you were a priest?
Sure.
Aren't
Okay.
like rules against that?
No, unfortunately.
I mean, Sean's the one who gets to decide that. He's the one playing the priest.
Yes.
Fair.
Okay, so where do you go, Tower?
I think I probably. Is there like just a sort of like? Would this like chapel church thing have had like something sort of close to almost a wine cellar or something like that? Because I think if it
I don't think it. I mean, it would have a basement, but
like
I
a
don't,
basement
yeah.
or something, some kind of basement. I was imagining a wine cellar. I don't know why, but I think it was going off of my thing of wine forgery.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, but I think I've converted that into a little bit like a little library for myself, and I think I go down there, and that's also sort of my little space for working on any projects. And I think because my Ovi is so small, it's probably down there.
Okay. All right. So you just read it in the basement.
Yeah, I mean that's a mood.
Okay. So, Demon, from the steps you see Keiko return alone through the moat of proxies.
I stand up and I say, "Is everything all right?"
Yeah. Old friend.
So inside, Scratch has switched conversation and is now talking about what good publicity it would be to do a job for the Third Public Connection Corps, since they're, you know, the documentarian crew for the Democratic Federated Systems.
To sort of add a little bit onto that, I think the reason that the conversation changed was because the conversation about the leopard print got heated because Spade was arguing that you can't have a leopard without the leopard print on the leopard.
Oh no.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So we switched to a more civil conversation.
Of work. Yeah. So they're talking about that you know, doing a job for Lieutenant Colonel Johnson would be a good in.
I don't know that we really are the kind of squad that benefits from publicity necessarily.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Obviously, like, no offense, but no one wants to hire you. But
I mean, in an ideal world, we wouldn't have a job at all.
exactly. But
Yeah.
like this way, then people will know you're out here. You know, you work the brand, you get more attention. I mean, y'all are trying to make, you know, a bit of scratch, right?
Oh,
That's what we have you here, hon.
Well, you know, there's only so much I can do.
Oh, don't undersell yourself.
I'm not. I'm fucking awesome. But even I have limits. So, Demon and Pitchfork, do you two come inside?
yeah. If that's where the conversation goes, yeah, we'll go inside. So,
Okay.
Scratch, don't say the fuck word.
Ah, you're back. So, how's your pally?
Not in the best spot. I think I need to go help them out.
With, like, what, moving?
They're going to hit the burden, and I'm gonna help them.
Sounds heavy.
I
But,
mean, supposedly it's not a big deal.
I mean,
burden's bad news.
yeah, jokes aside.
Can we quickly just do a reminder for those in the audience and also for me who forgot what the burden is?
Big mood.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I remember vaguely, but I don't have a good picture.
Yeah.
Dumb and gay, I don't know what I'm doing.
So, the Burden, they are an anti-off-worlder group with no unified post-off-worlder plan of government. Goal to remove all the off-world factions. They're basically like a group of, you know, depending on who you ask, terrorists or freedom fighters who have a cell-based structure. And like any group of terrorist freedom fighters, they need an income, which the source of can vary a great deal, but rarely is it legal.
Times.
Well, it wouldn't be for them, would it?
Yeah. Oh, also they're tier 2, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Phew.
So
I don't like the idea of getting tangled with the burden, but do you think you'll need help? Asking Pitchfork.
I mean, I'm not gonna use all the help I can get, but I know this isn't any of your fights. This is something I have to do. None of the rest of you are obligated to mine.
And when does this have to happen?
tomorrow.
Well, I still think it's like the right thing to be.
So the same day that we're going to meet up with the to go fetch bodies from the Jovangelian Empire.
Bring bodies to the Jovangelian Empire.
Thank you.
And to be clear, this is, we'll call this a split in the story branches. You have 2 mission options here. You can work for the Rubble Runts, which, to be clear, would be an independent mission, which means you don't get a supply roll. Maybe they'll be able to provide you with some supply points. But
So it's hard mode.
well, you're not an independent faction, so other missions will be provide supply rolls, just not this one. And your target will be the Burden, with the objective of destroying the Burden safe house in Kingstown in Journey City. The other mission is working for the 3rd Public Connection Corps. So you'd be getting a supply roll from the Democratic Federated Systems. And your target for that is the Wolf Pack, which is a Jovangelian squad of also Tier 2. And their deal is that they are on R&R, basically. They have been taken away from the front lines, and they are just taking it easy in Fort Jovenol. And of course, when I say target, that's the loosest sense of the words. Because
Right.
you're delivering bodies. You're not
Sure.
picking a fight.
Yeah.
They have the same rules of engagement too, which is no threatening or employing force against civilians, and no firing upon or presenting as medical, transport, or facility.
This sounds like a really nice milk run for the thing that at least my mech was designed to do.
Yeah. It also feels like there is, a hell of a moral quandary here. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't like the idea of working for these guys.
Keiko, why has your friend come to you, asking you to help after all this time?
No, maybe I should have asked, but I'm
Yeah.
just gonna leave my friend hanging.
So
Austin, sorry. The stream is still called Battletech.
well,
I just thought you should know.
oh well. I thought I fixed that, but clearly I did not. Okay, I'll see if I can fix that. But in the meantime, what are y'all gonna do? Oh, actually, Keiko, why do you think that Layla thinks you owe her something?
I think Layla was probably like more of an older sister figure growing up. That's probably why. She like taught me how to do all sorts of things, taught me how to fight, that kind of thing.
Okay, so no specific incident.
Yeah,
All right.
but it might be interesting if there is one that I'm forgetting.
Well, should that, come up, I'll let you know about it. But if Keiko can't remember one, then I don't think I'll share it right now.
Dun, dun, dun. That's ominous.
So, what are y'all gonna do? Of course, before you decide, you can do some gather information rolls,
Yeah.
if you're so inclined.
Yeah.
Yes. I would like to know more about the group that will be accompanying us if we do go to the Jovangelian Empire. They mentioned people up from the embassy, and I want to know more about who those are.
And how vulnerable they would be if we get in a fight.
Okay.
That's a thing we should know.
So, how are you gonna try and figure that out, Spade?
How would I personally, with my stats that I'm looking at, do that?
It's a big mood.
Wow, I'm bad at finding out things that aren't in my mech. Uh,
So dependent on technology.
other than just like talking to Scratch and trying to get more information from them, I don't know what else I would be doing. Um,
Okay. Well, Scratch can tell you a bit more about the Third Public Connections Core, but they don't have anything that isn't like specific, or they don't have anything that is specific to this mission, right? So what they tell you is that the Third Public Connections Core is basically the propaganda, or one of the propaganda cores of the Democratic Federated Systems. They are well funded, so their OVs are always well maintained and pristine looking, and almost always are followed around by a documentarian crew who are, trying to get the best shots and then cut them together and then immediately put them out to the public to show the victorious Third Public Connections Corps in battle against the desperate forces of the enemy.
So it's more propaganda style and less disaster tourism?
Yeah, they're all about just making the DFS military look great, especially their star pilots.
okay,
Fun times.
I know what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna get into an email chain with the with that group. I'm gonna use interface, which I don't have anything in. So I'm gonna roll 2d6 and see if I get literally information from this.
Okay.
Is that right? How that works?
So you're just basically having a conversation with them over email?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you trying to find out here?
I want to know, I want to know the names of the people that I'll be traveling with. I want to know specific things that they like, shots maybe that they want to get, or people that they want to see, or remains that they specifically want to pick up. Basically, I want to find out what they're invested in on this venture.
Okay. So, give me a roll.
Okay, so I'm rolling at disadvantage, right? Because I don't have anything in
Interface?
Yes.
You know what? I don't think that this is interface, though, because you're not... The point is not your actions digitally. The point is that you're having a conversation.
Okay, so maybe it's consort?
Yeah.
Which is the same.
Okay.
So that's 2d6 and then pick the lower one? Is that correct?
Yep, you can /roll 2d6 KL1. Should give you the lower of the two dice.
Okay. Hey! That's a 4.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not the worst.
Yeah, so that's a decent amount of information. So going back and forth with their PR person, Laura Nearnick, you find out that the Third Public Connections Corps is looking for shots of not the dignity of the dead of the enemy, but the generosity of the DFS in returning the dead. That is what they are looking to get footage of. They're not at all interested in your connections to the Celestial Myriad. She even says, like, if you could, like, cover up any blue stars you have on your obvies, that would be greatly appreciated.
We'll just put some masking tape on it. I'm sorry, that's my phone. Sorry, forgot that was on. Yeah, we'll just put some, gaffer tape on it. It'll be fine.
We'll put on blue gaffer tape in the shape of the star.
And there's going to be a 6-person documentarian crew joining you. There's going to be...
There's more people to get killed.
Do they have their own? Do they have their own like ships? Are they? Do they need like being carried, or what's up with that?
They will have basically a van.
That's
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean,
So bad.
not like it's not actually a van. It's actually an APC, but like most of the weapons and defenses have been stripped out of it, so that they can replace it with like editing software and cameras. Like when you see it, there's probably a spot where like there should be a 50 cal machine gun mounted, and instead there's just like a camera.
It's just like a Google color.
Yeah, it's probably got one of those too, a 360-degree camera as well.
I hate them. Fuck.
It's fine. In the future, they're awesome.
So, yeah, that's
Not the cameras, just the people. They're film majors.
so that's what they're going to be traveling with. So you don't have to worry about cramming a film crew inside of like the space that you use to transport the dead Spade.
it was a concern. I'm happy to hear it won't be a problem.
Yeah.
We will have other problems that just won't be one of them.
So yeah,
Also, might not take this mission.
you might not.
Because... film majors.
So speaking of Tower, what are you doing to, what kind of information are you trying to find out before you go on either of these missions?
I don't know how much Tower knows about the faction for the... I'm sorry, I'm... Faction?
Sorry, could you repeat that? You muted out.
Sorry. What's the xenophobic faction that for the other quest thing?
Oh, the
The Burden?
Burden?
The
Yeah.
shit ones. Because I don't know a lot about them, and I don't really know a lot about their base or like where they're located and what the area's like.
Okay, so you want to try and find out more information about them and
Yes.
what they're up to in Kingstown specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, how are you going to do this?
I think I'm gonna talk to some people.
Who are you going to talk to?
I wonder if anyone from the Cirque du Soldat would be there, maybe? Or anyone from the bar I used to work at?
It's certainly
Like
possible.
anyone I would have worked with.
You'll get different information depending on which of those two you talk to, though. Just to be clear.
Can I
'Cause-
get y'all's opinion on it? I mean, which do you think I would get better information from on this?
Probably from the bar, right? Because they're like local, and Cirque du Soldat seems like it operates with the wealthy who.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Seem like they would be majority off-worlders.
About right?
I don't think that the Cirque du Soldat is majority off-world.
No, I mean
No.
their clientele is majority off-worlders.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they are not. They very frequently do take jobs from smaller clients as well. They are not above rat catching, so to speak. But if they are employed as a whole, it is definitely by one of the factions.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the bar then, just because it seems more likely that I'll get something of use.
Okay, so you're reaching out to Lovegood at the Broken Bar?
Yeah. Or potentially not Lovegood, but like... Yeah, probably Lovegood, just for sort of peripheral information even, just like something, because I want to know what the fuck we're getting into here.
Okay. And how? So, what are you gonna roll for that?
Consort?
Sounds good to me.
I only have one in that, but, you know, it's better than not having anything.
Hey, Spade did fine with 0, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh.
great.
Well,
Fuck.
Okay.
I've been rolling so bad, God.
So, do you actually go to the broken bar, or do you just, like,
I
call
think
up?
I just, like, text.
Okay. So yeah, you get a hold of Lovegood, and they text you back and forth for a while, and they're sort of like clearly evasive about the information that they're willing to provide to you, and so what you get from them is that the Burden have a safe house in an apartment block in Kingstown in Journey City, which is all stuff you already knew. But you also learn that they don't... They did something with the residents of that apartment block. It's not clear what happened, but the neighborhood around that apartment block is not the same as it was. And unfortunately, that's all that you're able to get out of Lovegood. They haven't, I mean, they're in the broken bank. So there's only so much information that they actually get from
Yeah.
outside, and usually it's just hearsay. So.
Well, fuck. I don't even know if that's true. Shit, I rolled a 3. Okay.
Demon, what are you doing to gather information?
What am I doing? Can I spend a cash to take another downtime action?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take an action and cut loose, and I'm going to cut loose with pitchfork.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we will go get a drink. Or do you drink?
I think so.
Okay.
Is
I think so.
is Keiko old enough to drink?
That is a good
We
question.
live in a rural town. It's fine. No,
Yeah.
no.
It's
I
space.
think everyone drinks beer by like age 16 here. It's fine.
How old is Keiko?
Like 20-ish.
Oh, okay.
Ish.
Does she
Probably a
know?
little older. I don't think so.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because she was like found by this orphanage at an undetermined age. Doesn't even know like what her real birthday is. She has a like a standard birthday.
Yeah. So, your friend's in trouble, right?
Yeah. She sounded pretty overwhelmed.
When's the last time you saw her?
A couple years ago, before she left. I mean, I kept in touch, but I haven't seen her in person. She hated this town, you know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The Burden is loaded for bear. They are a dangerous squad that vastly outnumbers our own firepower. And the runts too, or I don't know that she's part of the runts, do I? I don't think I caught that. It's like I don't know what sort of firepower your friend may have, but I don't know what you or even the rest of us could contribute. We're morticians, basically. We do what we can. And I think at some point like we stopped drinking, and like we're walking back through the graveyard, and I say, you know, these people, I wave my hand out, need you too. We're bringing these people home. We're doing something good to put their memories to rest. And then I think I put my hand on your shoulder and I say, I trust you, and I will side with what you decide. But I want you to think about what we need and what you need. And that's all I ask.
Hero, Layla's one of the few friends I have left that I know is definitely lying. I can't lose her like I lost the others. And I think I walk off to have some alone time.
Okay.
So,
Cool. I'm gonna roll. 1d6. Oh, whoops. Trying to roll in the wrong chat.
Oh boy.
I'll take it.
Oh.
No, no.
Goodbye.
Austin,
mm-hmm.
how do you feel about us splitting this?
Oh no.
I don't think that's feasible.
Or no, would you rather us not do that?
I mean, I will say that, assuming that Demon and Spade go for the sort of mortuary mission, it would be a fairly even 50-50 split. 'Cause I really don't like the idea of working for, you know, some fucking propaganda bullshit.
Well, if Keiko goes to back up her friends, Hera will go too. He's not thrilled about it, but you know, she trusts my plans and I won't let her down.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lean on those beliefs.
Oof.
Struggle with them. Get XP.
I also, like, I kind of need to, like, as part of that, I've got, like, I gotta keep an eye on Keiko. I gotta, like, stick with her because, like, one, she could spread some fucking dirt, but, like, also she's younger than all of us and, like, the party baby. You know? Gotta take care of the party baby. I don't know where I'm going. I'm sorry.
Those are good reasons.
Also, you know, militaristic bullshit.
So, sounds like there are 2 votes for, or 3 votes for the mission with the rubble runs. I will say this. If y'all do split on this mission and go 2 and 2, I won't be reducing the difficulty of the mission.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course.
you will be getting a bigger, like, you know, you're hustling and getting 2 jobs done in one day. So you'll get, you know, the DFS supply roll and whatever the rubble runs are, you know, able and willing to give you. But also you'll be facing the conflicts of both of those split up.
Okay, I would like to have a conversation with Harrow if I can.
Sure.
Because I'm looking at my relationships, and my relationship with Keiko is I can't fight by Keiko's side, but I can keep her standing. I feel like the magpie would be pretty useless on this venture, and like the other mission is what it was designed to do. Like I don't think Spade is particularly interested in the film crew or whatever's happening there, but getting bodies back to their bereaved is important to Co. But Ko's other bond is that I can trust Harrow to know what to say from going up and seeing their mentor. So so I think that Spade basically puts all that on the table, and like, is this something that like I can just go up and y'all can help with? I don't know what to do here. What do you think?
I don't think it's wise. I don't think her head is in the right place, but I don't think there's a way to get it out. And I mean, we need this job from Lieutenant Colonel Johnson. We need those resources and that. But I mean, I watched Keiko grow up. It's hard to, or I mean, what like, I guess we know each other, right, Keiko? Or like, how well do we know each other? I mean,
like we're definitely around, like, while I was growing up.
yeah.
For sure. I don't know what the relationship was like when you were leading that, like, gang of misfits, though.
Sure, yeah.
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 Because it really does feel like a milk run. Like, or if not a milk run, it's just straight up and down. The people there want to give up the bodies, and the people going want to get them. I feel like unless Ko's convinced otherwise, Ko's tempted to just take this mission and let y'all go help Keiko. Like, yeah.
That is a thing we could do. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we could split if that's okay. Like,
It seems like a really bad idea.
it does seem like a really bad idea, but why don't we just get into the bad idea if it's a manageable thing? Like, Austin, I mean, realistically, what are you thinking? So
I'll go with whatever y'all decide. I mean,
okay.
I prepped 2 missions with this possibility. Or, well, not, to be honest, I did not expect y'all to decide to split like this, but it would not be the first time that I've dealt with a split party.
Okay.
So,
Just dealing with, like, propaganda feels really, really gross for me, and also I don't want to be on fucking camera. Like, I was convicted for murder.
I didn't even think of that. Oh,
I don't want to be on camera.
that's a very good point.
That
I'm
seems
not
like a
asking.
terrible idea.
That's true. I'm not asking you to come, is the thing.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, all around, it's just a bad time for me on that mission.
Completely fair. And Austin, I'm also happy to take a backseat as far as where the camera sits. If you want to like focus on, I'm happy also to get into very bad trouble, but I'm also happy to let the burden mission take forefront.
I kind of want to join Core, so like.
Yeah, I think at this point, Keiko would go to Harrow and ask him to watch after Spade and go with.
I think at the same time, I think Harrow is thinking it's like you need to do what you need to do, but we need to look at the health of the Cenotaph as a whole as well. And this, if there's anything I can do for you beforehand, let me know.
Yeah, like...
but you should go follow your heart, basically, is the speech,
Like, we should go into whatever situations we're going into in the best position we can, but, like, there are some things I'm not willing to risk.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Yeah.
on that note, I want to ask, Demon, you just did a cut loose roll, so your relationship with Pitchfork goes up by 1, and you get a new belief with her. So, do you have something in mind for that?
Yeah, actually, I think Keiko's heart is in the right place, but she doesn't see the big picture.
There it is.
That's a good one.
I love the parallel with my relationship to Harrow, which is that we don't agree on method. I know Harrow's heart is in the right place.
Lots of trust all around, but concerns with that trust.
Love it.
Okay.
Also, I am seconding Tower's decision because my bond with them is Blackberry's reputation has to be managed to avoid derailing our goals.
Yeah.
Seconded.
It's beautiful. It was all written out beforehand.
Uh-huh. Very good.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, Demon and Spade are going to do the DFS mission, and Pitchfork and Tower are going to do the Rubble Runs mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This.
Are we breaking your game yet?
Split the party. Split the party.
Don't you know? You never split the party.
Yeah, you're not breaking it yet, but you're certainly taking it in interesting directions. So, we know who the employer is for both your missions. It is the 3rd Public Connections Corps and the Rubble Runs.
Sure.
The targets for your missions are the Wolf Pack and the Burden.
Can this go on our... Oh, do we have different rules of engagement depending on...
No, both these missions have the same rules of engagement.
Okay. Can we put this in the notes document then?
Sure.
Or could someone more competent than me put it in the notes document?
Okay, so your objective, the objective for Demon and Spade, is to deliver bodies to Fort Jovenel and get footage of that, which means protecting the film crew.
Is that a secondary objective?
I think that... Yes,
not.
Actually.
Okay.
You hash. I'm going to say that this is something that Spade ends up hashing out through the email chain, is that the delivering the bodies is the primary objective, and they do want the footage, but that the footage and the survival of the film crew is the secondary objective. And to be explicit here, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. So.
And the objective for Pitchfork and Tower is to destroy the Burden Safe House in Kingstown District in Journey City. Note that Kingstown is not part of the Broken Bank. It is part of the lived-in and largely intact section of Journey City.
Yeah.
All right. Both have the same rules of engagement. No threatening or employing force against civilians. No firing upon or presenting as medical transport or facility.
How does that... I guess if we're... the distinction between a corpse boat and a doctor's, like, a medic group, is that a distinct enough distinction?
Yes, I believe so.
Cool.
Because if someone attacks, like, people may hesitate from attacking a corpse boat, as you put it, but that's not a, like, war crime kind of hesitation, unlike attacking a medical ship.
Gotcha.
And so that's the rules of engagement. So now each of the missions needs to pick a tactic. So
Science, obviously.
assault, deception, scientific, social, stealth, or transport.
I mean, transport, right?
Demon?
Yeah, let's go with the obvious choice. Sure. We're already being weird enough splitting this, so let's just go with the obvious choice.
Okay. And pitchfork and tower?
I'm gonna say stealth.
Yeah, I was gonna go for stealth as well because I'm bad at fighting things. And
do a
stealth
little.
is my whole gig.
I can do a little sneaking. I'm not totally helpless there.
Okay. Demon and Pitchfork, you two still haven't done a gather information roll before this mission. If you want to do that.
Oh, sorry. I thought I heard pitchfork and I assumed you were talking about our group. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to. Can I get files on these people in the film crew?
Like further than the intel that I got.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you got some. You already got intel on that. So
I mean, I know the basic overview of who we're with, but I don't have names or faces, so that would be worth grabbing. Is that accurate, Austin?
Yeah, I think you probably did get the names and faces of the people, but I don't think you got anything more than that, you know?
So we're supposed to be taking these dead to Fort Jovenel, right?
Yes.
I'd like to get some information about Fort Jovenel.
Okay. How are you going to do that?
I'm sure that somebody I think I'm just gonna like hit the books. Like I'm gonna basically get on the internet and get like in the augmented reality and see what I can pull up info wise that the Myriad would know about Fort Jovenel.
Okay, so just sort of hit the intel net.
Yeah.
The church has. All right.
So study is what I think I'm rolling here.
Sounds good.
All right, so a 2, amazing.
We play a good game here at you don't meet it in.co.uk. We totally didn't roll a 3, a 1, and a 2.
Get these rolls out early when there isn't a negative consequence other than just insufficient information.
Shake it out.
Yeah. So
It's like rolling all of your dice before you start like a live game and exiling the ones that roll badly.
So Fort Jovenel is named after the home world of the Jovengelian Empire.
That's good. Yeah, that's fine.
You also get that it is the Empire's sort of forward operating base isn't a term that describes a large enough facility, but it is the primary military facility in the area around Journey City.
It's like their military capital, basically.
Yeah, for the Jovengelians. There is not much of a civilian population to it. There's probably some for contract cleaners and probably the odd officer's spouse and family. But for the most part, it's soldiers and their support staff. It's very much it's not the front lines for the battle for this planet, but it still sort of maintains that because this area is so tense at times.
Mm-hmm.
Like the wolf pack pulled back from the front lines to Fort Jovenel, as opposed to somewhere else that isn't
Yeah.
in this region. So it's obviously quieter here for them to, recuperate. So that's what you get.
Cool. Thank
I
you.
love bad rolls.
The real short Wikipedia article.
Their major export is guns.
Ooh.
So, Pitchfork, do you want to do any?
Yeah. Like the moment I think we decide that we're splitting 2 and 2, I just load up Bert and head to Journey City. And I want to check out the safe house beforehand, like that night.
Okay. So you're going into Journey City in Burt?
I don't think so.
No,
I'm leaving
probably
Bert
not.
outside somewhere. I'm
Bert-
not sure where.
Yeah, Burt cannot pass as a CV.
Oh no.
Your mech named Bert?
Yeah.
It's very good.
Have we not been over this?
No. That's
Yeah.
very good.
Bert. Is there like a safe place to leave Bert around Journey City? Like, is there a Rubble Runs like base? I can like,
Yeah, you could leave Burt with the rubble runs.
yeah, I trust him.
Could
Yeah.
mine potentially... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Could mine potentially pass for a CV, considering it's like...
Light, yes.
It,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, it's a light load, and it's like very small and sort of... I was thinking of it almost passing for... I mean, it was created as like a performance mech, but it could almost pass as like an industrial thing, like a frame
Yeah.
thing, where I like muddied it up a little bit.
Yeah, you since it is a light load, you would have improved effect for trying to pass for a CV.
Okay.
So, all right. So you're just hanging out in the neighborhood, surveying the apartment block that the Burden have their safe house in.
Yep.
Okay, what you gonna roll?
You said it. You said survey.
Ah,
So it's gonna be.
fair.
Which I do actually have a point in, which is great. So we'll see. Let's roll that 1d6. Oh, that's a 3.
I could try rolling Analyze, but I've only got 1 in it. Considering I'm in my OV. So I want to try to get, like...
Well,
because I'm assuming we're coming at this building from, like, the bottom up. But that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, because I want to try to sort of get to, like, a point where it wouldn't be super noticeable and then get up to the top somehow.
So,
Scope out
here's
points
the
of
thing, Tower.
Okay,
Is
sorry.
you already did your gather information in prep for this mission, and y'all have a limited time frame for doing these.
Oh, that's fair. I'm
So,
sorry.
It's quite all right. I'm going to say that you can do a gather information for this, but you'll have to save it for the mission, because
Yeah, I just...
even though your CV is indeed something that could probably pass for a your Avi could pass for a CV, it hanging around and analyzing the Burden safe house is going to get attention, right? Because
you know what it was? I spaced out. I thought we were on the mission. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I've had a day.
Yeah. So everyone's done a enough gather information rolls that they have had time for. So now it's time to pick your tactic and the detail with all that extra information you were able to get. So...
yes, all of the information on rolls above a 3
yeah.
that we totally got.
So, Demon and Spade, what's your route and means?
Can't believe I'm so good at emails. Route and... Can you elaborate on those two things? Sorry.
So
I'm not
the
sure what
route
you're
you're doing a transport mission. So the route is the pathway that you're taking to get from Journey City to Fort Jovenel. The area sort of in between them, where Journey City is sort of it was farmland. There are probably still the odd farms that are intact, but it's like rolling hills with some copses of trees. So it's not like inhospitable if you were to want to just travel off-road directly to Fort Jovenel. Or you could take the main road that goes from Journey City to Irvan and then to Fort Jovenel. Those are the obvious routes that you could take.
How active is the conflict in this area?
Mostly at this time, things haven't really popped off. It's sort of the odd... Calling them borders is a little generous, but the odd skirmishes over control of territory. Each of the factions it's generally known that they have patrols in their own areas and occasionally make forays into their neighbors' areas, but there's no like hard battle lines at this time. Things are very much in flux, and the preponderance of communications disruption technologies makes that even less likely to occur at this time.
Okay, so we could do it through the country, or we could just do a straight up road trip. How you feeling, Haro?
I feel like sticking to the roads is the wisest thing right now.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, so you're going with the route is the roadways, and your means are your AVIs plus the APC of the connections core.
Yeah.
All right. Pitchfork and Tower. You're going with stealth. What's your point of infiltration?
So from that 3, is it just like it just looks like a regular apartment building?
Yeah, there's an underground garage. There's yeah, it's a single building, sort of a square-based prism, and yeah, there's nothing like fancy about it. It's a very I don't want to say like low income housing kind of deal. It's just, like I said, nothing fancy, probably no pool inside of it. And
Is that standard?
I don't know. I'm just saying there's not going to be a pool.
Yeah.
We can't go in through under the pool. We can't like do the cool like bursting up out of the water move.
Not this time, but maybe later.
Are there buildings next to it that are like the same height or taller?
Yeah, there are probably buildings of a similar height in the area. This is like a, let's see, it's a 10, would it be 10? No, it's actually probably a 15 floor apartment block.
I mean, I'm thinking go in from the top.
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking about.
Hey, look at that. Okay. Perfect.
Because, I mean, that seems... It's going to be either the least or the most guarded point, so 50-50 chance, you know?
Well, we'll see when you make that engagement roll, I suppose. Okay, so your plans are selected. Now choose the loadout. So your Obvies already have their loadouts selected. Demon, what are you carrying for loadout?
I think light.
Light? Alright.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to be on camera, and I probably will have to talk to people. I don't want to look like a violent person. Yeah.
Spade?
Medium. I'm not hiding what this vehicle is intended to be used for.
Okay, but what about as a pilot? What's your load?
Oh,
Because your vehicle load doesn't change unless you spend
gotcha.
material points during downtime or during
light.
this stage.
I don't think I'm expecting any trouble because I'm optimistic about this mission, so I'll take light.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody. It's been fun.
Pitchfork?
I'm debating medium or heavy. Because, like, we're breaking in, and if we run into people, then I'm going to want that extra one. But it's going to impede my movement, right? A little bit, heavy versus medium.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. I think medium.
You'll go with medium. Okay. Remember to mark these on your character sheets.
Mm-hmm.
And tower?
I think I'm gonna go with medium as well, just because I've got some items in mind already.
Okay.
Worst case scenario stuff.
All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have your engagement rolls, and then we're going to go to break.
Okay.
Very cool.
So,
Classic.
Demon and Spade. You get 1 die for plain luck. Is the mission bold? No.
No.
Is the mission especially complex? No.
Not as far as we know.
Does the mission exploit the target's vulnerabilities?
Right in the feels.
Yes. Take +1 die. Is the mission's target ineffective against, or is the mission's tactic ineffective against the target? No.
Okay.
Does the squad receive external support for the mission?
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, you have
We
some.
count the crew?
You have the camera crew if you want to take advantage of them.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah.
They're on this mission. They should do some work.
Yep. Is anyone interfering with the mission other than the target? Yes.
Okay.
Take -1
Shut.
die. Are there any other factors that affect the mission? Quality. Tier. You guys are tier 0. Until you get a tier up, you're basically always going to have a penalty to your engagement roll due to being a lower tier.
How do we tier up often?
You have to build up rep, and then you spend 3 of each supply point type when you're at max rep to increase your tier.
Okay.
So, how many dice is that? 1 for base, and then vulnerabilities, external support, -1 for hidden interference, and -1 for lower tier. So you're back to 1. So make that single die engagement roll. Who wants to make it?
Well, this is your lead, I think.
Alright. Slash roll. 1d6. Come on, baby. Well, cool. Awesome.
you cut me deep.
Awesome. Good. One.
Oh boy.
Oh, jeez.
We're gonna need a priest after this.
Okay. Pitchfork and tower. So, you have 1 base. Is the mission bold? Yes.
Okay.
It's bold. You're hitting them in their safe house while they're gearing up to hit someone else. It's
That's
bold.
fair.
Good point.
With just the 2 of you.
Well, 3 of us.
Oh.
Is the mission especially complex? Doesn't sound like it.
No.
Sounds
We're
like you're.
just punching them.
Yeah.
We're gonna be sneaky and then punchy.
Yeah. Does it exploit the target's vulnerabilities? No.
Potentially, because they're gonna be distracted with like gearing up. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Denied.
Is the mission's tactic ineffective against the target? Also no.
Yay.
Does the squad receive external support for the mission?
A bit.
We're not getting any Rebel Run support for this, right? Like, you just do this for us while we do this other thing?
I mean, they're hitting another bird in safe house at the same time you're doing this mission. So,
I think that would.
so,
But
I
also,
don't know.
like, I think that would be. I think that would count as support.
I feel like it's because they.
Because hitting them on two fronts, kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. So you got outside support. And is anyone interfering with the mission other than the target? No. But you are a lower tier.
Yeah.
So, roll a 2-die engagement roll. Who wants to do it?
You roll better than me, so.
Yeah, well, that's not saying much right now. I'm not rolling great, but okay.
You want me to do it?
I will do this one. Oh my god.
Can I just roll it and see what we would have gotten?
Looks like Team Rocket's
I
blasting
mean,
off
if
again.
you want to know and be mad when you roll a 6,
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh
wow.
God.
Double threes
It
again.
was fate.
It was always going to be like this.
Both these missions were fated to rough starts.
oh my goodness, what? We both rolled 3 threes this game. Like, that's all we rolled.
Oh boy.
That's amazing.
Okay.
I've rolled 3 threes this game.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Okay. So,
It's
with that, we are going to take a break so I can figure out what fresh hell the 4 of you are going to go through when we return.
Erased.
All right? So everyone, we'll see you in a little bit. Let's say 5 minutes, okay?
what should we do with our Audacity files?
Just leave them running.
Okay.